Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Jake from today'siphone.com and here's your TIP daily for March 1st, 2013. Okay, now the first story of the day has to do with a cheaper iPhone release date. Now these cheap iPhone rumors have been around for so long and we've heard every different variation of them. So it's not too surprising to see one coming up on the web, but there are a couple interesting things to this one that are worth talking about. Now this rumor originates from Chinese website EMS1, which cites a Barclays analyst that says that Apple will release two iPhones this August, an iPhone 5S and a cheaper version of the iPhone. Now it is worth noting that according to this analyst, this cheaper version of the iPhone will not be available everywhere, particularly in the US. It's really aimed at like developing or emerging markets where subsidized devices are not as common, so people don't want to pay that much for a full, non-discounted iPhone. Other than that, there's not really much information on that, but that's okay because we've heard every sort of leak about a cheaper iPhone that we can possibly hear. Bigger screen, smaller screen, same body, different design, same design, We've heard it all before, so there's really no way of knowing if Apple's even considering releasing a cheaper iPhone until we get a confirmation or we get a lack of a confirmation from Apple. That being said, I really don't think that Apple's going to do this, but you never know. Okay, moving on, it's been a long time since we talked about the Apple versus Samsung trials, and in my opinion, it's been a good time. I do not really miss talking about that. I do not miss these court cases grabbing the headlines every day. But something significant did happen with these trials that is definitely worth talking about. And that is that Judge Koh announced that they will retry $450 million worth of the damages that Samsung owes Apple, which brings the total amount of money that Samsung owes Apple for copyright infringement down to $600 million. There are 14 devices that still are acknowledged by the courts to have infringed upon Apple's copyrights, but the amount of money that Samsung owes Apple for those infringements is what's in question now. So currently Samsung owes Apple $600 million. That number will probably go up because, like I said, the courts did not absolve Samsung of these 14 devices worth of copyright infringements. The only thing in question is the amount of money that Samsung has to pay for that. So far there's been no comment by Apple or Samsung, but this is definitely an interesting development. I don't really understand why, Samsung is guilty of copyright infringement, but for some reason the penalty for that is being put to the test again. So I'll definitely be interested to see what comes of this, but either way, I don't think it can really end that well for Samsung. Okay, and finally, Apple stock hit a 57-week low this morning at $431.89. Apple announced a record-breaking quarter last quarter, and they're selling millions of devices, whether it's the iPhone 5 or the iPad mini, or the iPod Touch, or the full-size iPad. Apple is still a very predominant and strong presence in the technology world. But for some reason, investors are still not pleased, probably because they're looking and hoping and expecting for the kind of awe-inspiring product that Apple had in 2007 with the original iPhone or with the original iPad or something like that. So even though Apple is still making a ton of money, their stock is decreasing, which seems kind of strange to me. It'll be interesting to see how Apple handles this. Are they going to propel rumors of an Apple HD TV or an Apple iWatch? Will they actually announce one of these new products? I think it's going to take something that radical to reestablish investors' confidence in the company, but I don't know how practical or realistic that is for Apple at this time. Okay, well that's all the big news for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Your question of the day today is, have you lost faith in Apple as a company? And if yes, why? If no, what do you think Apple is going to have to do to regain the trust from everybody who did lose it? You can let me know in the comment section down below or on Twitter at TIP_Jake. Please don't forget the links to everything I talked about in this video in the description down below, so definitely check those out. And as always, for more new reviews and reviews, don't forget to hit up today'siphone.com.